Welcome to Dania Accounting. My name is Ida. In today's video, we will discuss company income tax rules for limited liability companies based in Denmark. Limited liability companies in Denmark must pay company income tax on their profits. As of 2021, the company income tax in Denmark is 22%. So, how do you calculate taxable company income? The taxable company income is calculated by taking the company's sales and deducting the company's costs. This amount is called the result before tax. You can see the same result in your accounting reports, for example, by printing a profit and loss statement in Economic or in the accounting program you use. When you know the result before tax, your accountant or auditor needs to make some tax adjustments and then he can calculate the taxable company income. The taxable company income is declared on the company's tax declaration annually. The deadline for declaring the company's taxable income is 6 months from the end of fiscal year. So, do businesses pay company income tax if there is a deficit in the taxable company income? Only if the taxable company income is 0 Danish krona or less, then no company income tax is paid. We often get asked if deficits can be brought forward. A deficit in the taxable income can be brought forward to the future years. It can be offset in taxable company income profits before the company needs to pay company income tax. An example would be if the company has a deficit in the taxable company income of 100,000 Danish krona in 2021 and a taxable company income profit in 2022 of 100,000 Danish krona, then the company can offset the deficit it had in 2021 so that the taxable company income in 2022 is 0 Danish krona. In other words, the 100,000 Danish krona profit in 2022 minus the 100,000 Danish krona deficit in 2021 equals 0 Danish krona in taxable company income for 2022. Then, no company income tax is to be paid in either 2021 or 2022. On the tax office website Skatteerhverv, a register of deficits is maintained, showing what deficits have already been offset in profits and what to offset in future profits. What about the payment of company income tax? Company income tax is due for payment on March the 20th and November the 20th of each year. We call this the ordinary company income tax payments. These two payments will naturally be based upon an estimate, since nobody knows the actual profit before the year has ended. In addition to these two payments, there is an optional extra third payment on the 1st of February, in the year after the fiscal year has ended. This enables the company to adjust the payments of company income tax once the accounting is done for the fiscal year that has ended. By paying more company income tax here, the company can save money on later interests for late payment of company income tax. We call this third payment the voluntary company income tax payment. If you have just incorporated a limited liability company, then the first time you receive a letter from the tax office about paying company income tax, it will be almost always state that the tax office has estimated that the company should pay 0 Danish krona in company income tax. This is because the tax office doesn't know yet how much the company is supposed to pay, so they'll send a letter informing you that these ordinary company income payments are due in March and November, but they won't state the payable amount. Your accountant or auditor can help you estimate the ordinary company income tax payments. Let's say you're in January and you already know that you will have profit this year. Start making an estimate of the profit for the entire year as precisely as you can. Then calculate 22% of the estimated profit and divide this by 2. This will be the 2 payments of ordinary company income tax due for payment on the 20th of March and the 20th of November. You can always change the payments of company income tax on the tax office website Skatteerverv. Here you will also find the payment details for your internet bank. If the amount you end up estimating isn't precise, then it's no big deal, because when the year is finished, you're required anyway to make an annual report and submit a tax declaration with the correct amount. Then in the following year, you'll pay the remaining tax or receive a refund, depending on whether you under or overestimated your payments. Annual reports need to be submitted 5 months after the fiscal year has ended. Company tax declarations needs to be submitted 6 months after the fiscal year has ended. The tax statement is received in November in the same year the tax declarations is submitted. If there is any remaining company income tax due for payment, it needs to be paid on November the 20th. What about company income tax deadlines? Annual reports must be submitted to the Danish Business Authority on Virk, no later than 5 months after the fiscal year. Tax declarations must be submitted to the Danish Tax Office on Skatteerverv no later than 6 months after the end of the fiscal year. When does the company receive its annual tax summary? The annual tax statement is received in the e-books in November following the end of the fiscal year. When does the company have to pay additional company income tax not covered by the ordinary and voluntary payments? It is paid in November following the end of the fiscal year. So what about company income tax in the first fiscal year, when the fiscal year ends on December 31st? Limited liability companies don't necessarily have to follow the calendar year. They are allowed to have split year, which means you may have up to 18 months in your first fiscal year. For instance, if you start the company on the 1st of July 2021, your first fiscal year can run from the 1st of July 2021 to the 31st of December 2022, which is 18 months. Another option is for the first fiscal year to end on the 31st of December 2021, which is only 6 months. It's entirely up to you, but the maximum is 18 months in the first fiscal year. The following fiscal years will always be 12 months. If you choose to have 18 months in the first fiscal year, then the tax gets more complicated. You will then have a partial payment on November the 20th in the first year, and 2 more payments in March and November in the second year. These 3 payments will belong to the first fiscal year. The fiscal year has to be finished before we submit the tax declaration, so in this example, with an 18-month fiscal year, then the fiscal year would start on the 1st of July 2021 and finish on the 31st of December 2022, after which the tax declaration would be submitted on June the 30th, 2023. Company income taxes are declared 6 months after the fiscal year ends. In this example, with an 18-month fiscal year that covered the period 2021 and 2022, then after we submit the tax declaration on June the 30th, 2023, the tax office will calculate the actual company income tax, which will be 22% of the taxable profit for 2021 and 2022, plus some interest. The company income tax for 2021 and 2022 will be due on the 20th of November 2023, and any tax you might have already paid in November 2021 and March and November 2022 will be offset in the total company income tax due in 2023. You'll receive an annual company income tax statement that will show all this information, including your profit from the 1st of July 2021 to the 31st of December 2022, as well as the 22% in company tax and added interest, which is around 4%. You can also receive a company income tax refund. This happens if you paid too much in company income tax. What about joint taxation? If your company is owed by another company with more than 50%, for example via a holding company, then you will need to apply what is called joint taxation. In joint taxation, the owner, who owns more than 50%, called the management company, must manage the company income tax payment to the Danish tax office. The management company instead collects the company tax from the company. The company income tax collected by the company's management company is called the joint taxation contribution. The joint taxation contribution corresponds to the company income tax that the company must pay on its taxable profits. So, how can you get money from the company as a sole shareholder and director? If you are the sole shareholder and director, you can also pay money to yourself. There are two ways you can do this. Salary. You can be hired as the director in the company, even though you are also the shareholder, and then receive a salary from the work you have performed. Dividend. After the first fiscal year has ended, you can receive a dividend from the company if there is a profit after company income tax. We have made a separate blog and video that covers this whole topic related to dividends and dividend tax. You can see a link to the blog here. If you have any questions about company income tax in Denmark, please reach out to us and schedule a call or an online meeting. You can schedule your online meeting from the front page of our website daniaaccounting.com, or you can call us on +45 7027 2713. My name is Ida. We are Dania Accounting. Thank you for watching.